Okay. Oh, we have audio on YouTube. Guys, we're here. We're live.
Hello.
Ooh, hello. We had to make sure that
Uh,
YouTube came down to tape this.
to be in your shoes.
To be in your shoes. Do you want to? I mean, this is live, so do you want to start it the way
This
we
is
normally do, Sean? Do you want to? What are we doing here?
I think we're gonna. I'll introduce a very special intro that we have here for our 200th live episode. Edwin James will be performing a live rendition of our theme song.
Edward is one of our co-hosts.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Ooh. Paper out stock, friendly faces around the block, breaking loose from the chains that are causing you pain. Call Michael Stanley, Jim Dwight Creed, call Andy and Kelly, be business paper means, oh, Dunder Mifflin, the people, persons, paper people, Dunder Mifflin, the people, persons, paper people, Dunder Mifflin, the people, persons, paper people.
Look at that.
Hello.
Look at that signal.
Welcome. Hello and welcome to the Michael Scott Podcast Company, the 200th episode of the Michael Scott Podcast Company, a show for fans of The Office by fans of The Office. I'm your host, Sean Roney. Sorry, let me try it more Italian. Sean Aroni Abundanza.
And I'm Edwin James, assistant to the regional manager.
And with us, as always, our producer in the warehouse, Mr. Alex Ward.
Does anyone have a camera here?
No one has a camera here.
In all the setup for this show, I didn't actually make it open. I had so many other technical things working out. I never made an opening drop. So, that was, I happen to have the Toby page up on my drop board. And we have
That certainly worked.
And we have cameras. So, hi, everyone. There's people who haven't never
yeah.
seen us before, I'm seeing here on the YouTube chat.
Is that it might be that way, but yeah. Hello. It's nice to see you or to show our faces after all this time.
After all these years.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I feel I'm a little under the weather, so you might notice that change in my voice. So I apologize for that.
Oh, you sound sexy, Dwight.
I did have my coworkers told me, or one of my coworkers told me that I sound more American with like the deeper.
Oh, really?
I was like trying to say American things. Ford F-150.
Wow, that
$5
is
footlongs.
American.
$2 Tuesdays are back at Applebee's.
Coors Light. Yes, can you say the banquet beer?
The banquet beer.
Oh,
That was
Well, now I'm
wow.
putting on the voice. Now I'm putting it on a little bit. But, yeah. I'm adding a little zhuzh. Yeah.
little zhuzh. To give a just quick landscape here of what's going on. So we're live on our Discord for the Scott's Tots. So they're watching us. They can watch us live on Discord. We will be taking calls from them. We have our to-do list. You can see what we're doing. So we'll be talking to a bunch of Tots, patching them in. We're also welcome to everyone who's joining us live on the YouTubes. Thank you, Dale. How about that image? Crystal clear. We should know I do not have like a super, super nice streaming computer, so it might not be perfect. Hopefully you can see the DVD logo moving and we might get a corner. If we do hit a real corner, please let us know because I will not be able to watch.
Blow us up in the chat, please.
Blow us
It
up in
kind
the
of looked
chat.
like you just did.
I think with this crystal clear image, it's going to look like it does a few times, but it's rare. But there's a 10-hour DVD logo
we'll count
loop
those.
on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube.
All right, we're gonna have to go long enough.
The more you know.
Long enough to beat that loop. So
Long Tim.
just so you all know, we're in this for the long. For the long haul. I would also like to call out for anyone watching the video that you're seeing what Sean and Alex see of this my bedroom in Switzerland where I do all the recordings. This room is independent of time to them because Like I record early in the morning, I record in the evening here, but it always looks exactly the same.
This is
Because of the way it's lit.
definitely
Yeah.
This is definitely just a set on a soundstage in LA.
Yeah.
Well,
He never
the
left
window,
LA.
the window is behind, like the window is behind my computer, so there's no like natural light coming in usually, and especially 'cause, like it's just very like this room is it's like the hyperbolic time chamber. It's outside of time and space.
Yeah. Edwin exists in a vacuum.
Nice sconces.
And
Mhm.
that's the way we like it. You know?
I live in a simulation. I don't know about the rest of you.
We've had a long running joke that like Edwin's just been fleecing us this whole time. Like he never went to LA, he never went to Switzerland, and he's just living out in Gresham or something near Portland.
That's
Living in a
that's
time
my
bubble.
favorite bit. That's my favorite bit. Is just what if it was all a lie? Like if with it works with anyone, but it's funniest with me because I've moved so far away. But like just that one day they would go to Alex and Sean would go to a grocery store. I'm just working there.
Yeah.
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 Ah, you were never supposed to know.
Years. 8 years.
Well, every week we get together and talk about our favorite show, NBC's The Office. This, of course, is our special 200th episode. So that's 200 weeks we've been doing this. At the
Oh,
very least.
God. Get a life, guys.
And if you are watching us on YouTube, you can see our set list for the day here. We're gonna be drafting some of our favorite moments from the podcast. I guess that's kind of just open ended to whatever we feel like.
Whatever.
And then we have a nifty gifty that we don't know what it is that's going to be presented to us from the Scott's Tots. That's our Patreon supporters. Who are the best fans in the world. And if you would like to join Patreon, check us out on patreon.com/Michael Scott and become a tot. And then we're going to go to what we're calling customer feedback, where we're going to have real live call-ins, which we've never done before.
Whoa.
For all the voicemails we've done. Never had that before. That's very exciting.
That's right.
That is really exciting.
Um,
Those
settle
100
down,
episodes
Scott.
in, it's still breaking new ground.
Dose.
yeah, so
Hundo.
before we get into the draft, we just wanted to take a second to celebrate the 200th episode. I have here a cocktail that I'm calling the Dramia Map Mama Michelada.
I've just put the recipe up on the
named
stream.
after. Thank you. Yeah, it's basically like a Bloody Mary meets but with beer. Essentially, I really prefer this. I call it Draw Me a Map Mama Michelada because I think there's a couple key ingredients. I like Zing Zang Bloody Mary mix. It's probably the cheapest one on the shelf, and it also has like a Mountain Dew looking label. But it's like it's not all the artisanal Bloody Mary mixes are like so thick. They're like tomato sauce. So I prefer this one, and then Maggi seasoning, which is like basically a soy sauce umami flavor. Yeah, if you're interested, the recipe's up there on the screen. I also like a tahine rim on there, and I'm drinking it out of my Lady Justice
Nice.
beer glass.
Nice.
Of course.
Nice.
And
Last time, Sean, we
also,
recorded in the evening.
I love that Creed quote.
Last time in the evening, you had the Andy Bernardier.
Boulevard Bernardier.
Yes,
Andrew Bernardier. This is and now it's breakfast hour for us, so I like the breakfast cocktail.
that's right. That's right.
Mhm.
You can so if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the whole recipe. I mean, this is not a casual cocktail. You just throw together. This is Sean Roney.
And Sean is not a casual bartender.
No, Sean has quite a paintbrush when you need to make a drink.
Mhm.
Here's what I'm doing. I can't believe it. No one's ever thought of this. I'm having a little vodka, little orange juice, little orange vodjuska.
Ah, what do you call that?
Orange vodjuska, my friend. That's
That
what
is
I'm doing over
incredible.
here.
He loves
Shout
to
out to Portland Potato Vodka. Not a sponsor.
I've never heard of that.
Is it really? Oh, I feel like it. I mean, I see it. I used to see it all the time.
Anyway,
And
yeah.
shout out to Simply Orange.
Well, yeah. Anyways, I mean, cheers, guys. It's what a wild ride it has been.
Cheers. I don't
Um,
have anything. I don't have anything special or office themed. I'm sorry. It's a Sunday here, so I was scrambling to find something. I have green grape soju. That's what I was able to find.
That's awesome. Cool.
Everything is closed
Nice.
here, so yeah, I was
Sweet.
scrambling. But
All right.
hey,
Hey,
cheers.
whatever. Good for us. That is delicious.
Well,
Whew.
gentlemen, I think it's time to get into our draft for today.
Let's do it.
We're gonna look back on 200 episodes of fun by doing a draft of our favorite moments. For the sake of brevity, we're just gonna do 3 moments each. I think is what we decided.
Mm-hmm.
And also, for the sake of brevity, and as host, I will be determining the order of the draft. It will go Edwin, Alex, me.
Nice.
What do you think about that?
God,
I'm
I fumbled the
glad you
first.
put Alex in the middle again.
No, I've fumbled the first pick so many times. I'm just thrilled to not be in that spot. I actually
All right, great.
I have to do this before we start.
Yes.
Because I can't pick this as a moment, but I just need to tell Edwin what happened yesterday when me and Sean and Kayla were doing some technical, getting everything set up.
Mhm.
Sean's just sitting there. Ryan comes in, drops a sandwich off. Oh, thanks, hun. And he starts eating this. starts eating the sandwich.
I love it already. I love it already. Yeah.
He takes a bite, and he's just like, does the Sean little like, the hand right here, and he, I take a good look at that sandwich, and I see cut raw radishes, just a whole bunch of radishes. Because Kayla was like, "Is that just untoasted white bread?" And he's like, "No, no, no." And he holds it up. It's radishes and anchovies. That's it, and then butter. And he's just like, and he's like, Sean loves it.
It was okay. I didn't think it was like the most amazing sandwich, but it's
Really, you gonna tell
Yeah.
Ryan that?
Yeah,
we
just
agreed. We agreed. We were trying it out.
raw sliced
But I'm
radishes
not afraid of anchovies.
Anchovies.
No, man, they're delicious.
on sandwich bread, like a hoagie
Anchovies, radish, and anything else?
and butter. On a hoagie
you get
roll.
you get a high fat butter,
Hmm.
and then some lemon and like I don't know, maybe dill or something like that.
Ryan's
all right.
Ryan,
And a kiss for good luck.
Ryan's in Ryan's in the chat saying it's French. Great.
Yeah, Ryan was
Yes.
going to Ryan next time. Just make Sean his favorite. It's a PB&J. It's a pear brie and jambon.
I've just never
Um,
experienced someone like to me that sandwich is mayonnaise and black olives. Like that's what that is to me. It's just going, oh God, why are
Oh.
you doing that to yourself? But I
Oh,
think maybe more people would like this. Colin's there saying it's French.
I really thought, Alex, you were gonna say that Ryan had put a note in Sean's sandwich,
Oh,
and that she had made it sterile.
That would have
That's
been
what I was
good.
hoping for. But yeah.
That would.
Here's to many more years of anchovies and sandwich notes.
Chelsea says that sounds like it needs arugula. Good call.
Yeah, maybe a little mozzarella, a
root.
little tomato in there. Okay.
It needs the ingredients of an entirely different sandwich.
For anyone who happens to be listening to this podcast for the first time ever, I think there's going to be a lot of goofing off today.
Yeah, this is
this
what our
Go
Patreon.
check out our episode from last week about Dwight
Yeah.
and Angela, if you're looking for office content. Okay, fellas, let's begin our draft here. Edwin, you have the first pick of this. Will be a serpentine draft, so we'll kind of go back and forth between us.
This is good that you did this, so I can't cheat this time. Let's see. All
No,
right,
I'm
so
not
with
over
the
it.
number one overall. Over what? In the number one overall pick, I'm going to take. This was what I think is the hardest in-person laugh that we had, or the hardest in-person laugh that I can remember. And the reason that it stands out on mic, I should say, and the reason it stands out is because one of our listeners called it out as like as a moment. But basically, we were talking. It was during our Nate episode, and we were talking about Dwight. We can just tell him his mother is dying, And so Dwight tells Nate, "Your mother is dying," and Nate falls to his knees.
Yeah, yeah.
And just that laugh recorded, I think, is the biggest laugh that we shared collectively on the podcast. We were in person for it, and I remember it clear as day. Yeah.
Me too, actually. Me too.
I can too. It's just the image. I mean, Mark Brooks is so funny, and just you can just see him in the background falling.
It's very dark too. It's a very
is.
dark joke for how funny it is.
And they it's funny too because they clearly like have him like they try to like identify the weakest link, and it's Nate struggling to stack a bunch of boxes, but they also clearly have the cardboard there for him to land on his knees.
Yes,
which
he's
were
got knee
very
pads.
important.
He's got the yeah.
But then they immediately cut to Nate saying, "So she's gonna pull through again."
Yeah. They
amazing.
correct it right away.
So
That's a good
an
one.
amazing office moment, an amazing recorded podcast moment, and also I think one of the hardest in-person laughs we had doing the show.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Good pick.
Great pick.
great pick.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Alex, go ahead.
All right, my first pick. I'm taking ones that are a little more just for me, and this is recording. This is a couple Christmases ago. We recorded the Todd Packer episode.
Okay.
And this is the one I recorded in the van, in the middle of the desert, by a public library. Wind shaking my vehicle. I was on 1 to 2 bars of public Wi-Fi at best, connected to you guys. It was freezing. I had cranked the heat up in the van like 20 minutes prior, and then I had to turn it off because like it was going to kill the van, and then I would have been stranded out there. I only picked that just because that was my favorite actual moment of recording, of doing the show, because I used to do a lot more like field recording for my job. Like I used to be out in the field, and it felt very much like I was patching in to a news service, you know, getting a breaking story from the middle of Borrego Springs, California. I loved that moment. I loved doing that episode, and it felt right doing Todd Packer, being, you know, on the road.
On the road.
Yeah, just trying to figure this out. I had just a wonderful, it was just a very good memory for me of doing the show at the time, because it's also, we've had a lot of things going on in our lives over the past 4 years. We've done the show, and we've managed to, like, we do take weeks off here and there when we really can't make it work. But that's kind of what I'm actually picking, is just like, to me, it's sort of the commitment we've all had to doing the show and been able to like come together once a week, no matter where one of us is, and call in, do the show. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm really drafting, is our love and commitment to each other.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Yeah, that's great, man.
I'll put that in parentheses next to recording in a van.
Throw an asterisk on that.
Beautiful first picks, guys. My first pick is going to be our first ever true business trip together to Denver, Colorado,
Yes.
to visit Lady Justice Brewing. Allison and Kate were just fans of the podcast, and we kind of formed a friendship through that. And then they invited us out to brew a beer with them and host a trivia night at their brewery. And it was really the only time we've ever been in person with listeners of the show. And it was kind of also a dream of mine to be able to brew a beer on the big system. So, and just hanging out was such a blast. So that was a super memorable event, and one that I never thought possible for where this show was going. So that was super, super cool.
So you're
And
for
we
your
got to meet
moment,
a lot of you and hang out with a lot of you guys.
so just for your moment, you're taking the whole weekend.
That I never
Whoop, we
I
got
can-
someone in there. Hang on, let me mute.
show was going.
We gotta mute people. There we go. Okay, good pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
That weekend was.
If I'm allowed to,
Yeah,
if I'm
of
allowed
course.
to.
No, I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, buddy. Take the whole
Trying
weekend.
to clear the board here. Yeah.
You can't-
Okay.
Alex, this means you can't take the 4-year period of doing the show with your next moment.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, all 4 years.
Oh, actually, really quickly before you do, again, thank you to Lady Justice for creating that moment that weekend. That was amazing for us to meet people face to face and do a trivia event, and I mean, it was such a fun, memorable weekend. Something that I think we'll never forget. I just want to show you on my microphone stand. I have their sticker that Ryan
Oh,
helped
nice.
cut down for me, but I see it every time we record. So I'll put it up to the camera.
Ah,
Oh,
beautiful.
beautiful.
Who's that handsome man to
There
the
it is.
Every
right?
time. Oh, that's our a friend of the pod, and also he was there that evening. He came out.
He
and said
was.
hello.
He
Our
was.
That's
friend
right.
Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Jordan,
so-
also on my
That's
water
super fun.
bottle.
Yeah, Jordan OP in the place to be.
Yes, sir. Nice. All right, that whole weekend, man, that was a really fun weekend. We had a janky ass car rental.
Mhm.
You remember that place? We rented the car. We had so many wonderful
Oh,
fans
yeah.
came out. I mean, people were amazing that came through. I'm sure there's some in the chat who actually were there
I know
for that
Faye
trivia.
was there, and yeah.
We've got actually that video is on our YouTube channel of that whole trivia night that we hosted. I think a lot of
Oh,
it's
cool.
muted because of copyright because we were playing a bunch of music. So it might just be footage. But if you want that footage, if you need that footage, it's there.
Need that footage.
And
On it.
Lady Justice crew is they're so cool, and they treated us so
Coolest
nice.
people ever.
And they made
Yeah.
fun of me for caring about the
Gracious hosts.
sound. Yeah, the XLR cables.
They decorated the brewery
Yeah, that was so
with like
cool.
the
Yeah.
drawing the Dwight's mustache on the mirror, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do it again someday.
Yeah.
But here is my second pick. I am drafting the first time that anyone ever called us and left us a voicemail that was
Oh.
just, I need paper. not the first ever voicemail, but just like a little ways into setting up the voicemail bag. We just got someone just anonymously leaving us that message, and I was just so tickled by that, and it started a great tradition of people always like calling and saying "What up, Cynthia?" and all these other things. So, it was just a really fun. It stands out in my mind as a moment that was like we started interacting with our like fans more, or we actually had some people who were fans of the show, and so it was a very funny moment.
Guten Prank.
There was so much in those first few months where you're just like, I can't believe someone called in. I can't believe people are listening.
Yeah,
You know, it was
there's 3 voicemails.
there's
Yeah,
3 voicemails, guys. And we once we did the Creed and Office Lady, the Office Ladies created a tsunami that we've been surfing for 4 years or 3.5 years. So before that, we were just in the hundreds on our download numbers, and some nice friends, and we're listening. And I mean, if you've been there, if in the chat, hit us up if you've been there since like before the Creed episode. If you didn't, if Office Ladies had nothing to do with you finding us, and you were way before that, hit us up if you've been there since episode 1. That'd be cool.
How many picks do we get in this draft?
Just 3.
it said 3, but we can keep going.
I think we
If
should
we
just do
need to.
3 because we're gonna have more time to talk.
Yeah,
We
no,
got people
That's
lining
true.
up.
That's true.
Also, I'm hearing that the logo hit the corner, but I know my camera's
Nice.
slow. Again, I don't have a great computer for streaming, so I apologize if it's for the crystal clear image. But apparently it hit the corner. So
There you go.
I don't know.
Very exciting.
I saw it. Did Jim say I
Uh,
didn't see it? I saw it.
Alex, it is time for your second pick.
Great. I think I'm gonna go with our first episode. I believe we recorded not like in this format or with nice stuff, which is we recorded with my field recorder at Lake Billy Chinook on one of our boating weekends.
Yep.
I say that boating week. I sound like Andy. 32-foot Mayliner. No, we boated on. We Brenda sniped it from the crow's nest. yeah, we rented this like party barge boat and camped at a campground for a weekend. It was super fun. It was the first year we did it, and it was like the first time we're like, oh, we need to record an episode while we're here. And so I brought my little field recorder and shotgun mic, and we recorded around a table the morning after partying all day. I think we probably all had hungover voices, but I don't know. I remember
Little rest.
we had so much fun with that one. I think we did. I'm trying to even remember the topic that we did. It was a pretty small one, but anyway,
it was reunion or reboot.
It was reunion or reboot.
Reunion.
Oh
or
yeah,
reboot.
so
Yeah.
I think we were just dreaming up different
Yeah.
scenarios that we would, be happy with as a reunion or reboot.
Yeah,
That was fun.
yeah. It was and we
Good
had our
one.
friends were kind of just in the background, and at one point, my friend Joe just walked over and handed us a note. And then I opened it, and it was a little hot dog. It said, "Hiya, buddy," and it
Brilliant.
just filled me with joy. And I just loved that moment. And that was also one of the first times I think we really were able to be like, you know what, this doesn't need to be perfect. Like, we can just record this here, and people liked it. And I thought it was sort of we took the next step in the show of just being like, let's be comfortable, be ourselves. We don't need to record this in a studio. We could just be on location here in this campground. And I loved it.
That's true. 'Cause
Yeah.
up until that point, we were 100% perfect with everything we'd done.
Totally perfect. By the way, I got to say, our friend
Yeah.
Peter on YouTube said he's been here since episode 1. And so people are saying, Peter Gallagher, I loved you in the OC. Yeah, it is that Peter.
Hey, Peter.
old friend of ours. Yeah.
What's up, Pete? How you doing, man?
Awesome. He really has.
Yeah.
Edwin, it is now time for your second and third draft.
Okay, so second and then my third and final pick. So the second pick
That's
is
right.
going to be the first trivia on the first episode is something that we actually recorded like ahead during one of our test recordings. So the first trivia during the first episode is Alex quizzing us on every song that was ever sung in The Office. And we recorded it in the upstairs of Alex's old place where it was like the ceiling was really low. We were sitting there, and like I think it was really hot. We were like
Yes,
doing this.
really hot.
It was one
The
of our
worst.
test recordings and stuff. Trying
The
to do
worst
it.
place to do
Yeah,
a podcast.
And you had clipped it out of another test recording that we did and made it our first trivia segment.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will probably remember this from being really upset that we didn't select closing time. But like, I mean, when I think back on getting the show started, that was one thing that I remember. Like that house and that vibe feels so long ago, and it's just fun to think
No
about.
kidding.
And it was fun to like. I mean, we've done trivia so many times, but that was the first time we had tried it on mic and on recording. So that was super fun. That's one that stands out for sure.
Very good. First trivia on the first episode. Every song ever sung on The Office.
That was
Sitting in
good.
that
Um,
that room with the
and-
low
Oh my
ceiling
God.
was super hot.
Like
I think
92
we're sitting in
degrees.
folding chairs.
We're sitting in
Yeah.
folding chairs. Creaky floors, just like so hot. I was trying to figure out how to do this with an really old mixing board that barely worked, but we did it. And
Look at us now.
we used to we had to spend so much time like before we got comfortable just doing the show where we'd map out like every single thing. We had an outline of everything we were going to say.
Oh, yeah.
And
It was much better, probably.
So much. Yeah, it was probably way better. Anyway, third pick, Edwin?
All right. Final pick.
Third pick, I think maybe just a personal one for me is I mean, it's a similar vibe that you had, Alex, but calling in from the cruise ship.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Nice.
That was
booze cruise.
that was so fun because I remember being on the phone with you guys and trying to run down to get to a room where I could get some quiet and like just like talking to you guys, running down this staircase and saying what I think became the cold open for that episode. But like then, that was fun to do that and like to just like be in the middle of the ocean and talking to you guys, like looking out the window of a room, looking out at the ocean. And then I went on to win the Office trivia on the Carnival Cruise Line.
Big surprise.
On the Carnival
That's
trivia
right.
contest, and I had that little plastic trophy. It came down to me and one other dude, and we had to name how many words were in the. We had to come up with all the words in the Pro-Am Fun Run
Oh
race
yeah.
for the Cure.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was just like a very fun time. Early enough in the show's run that like I don't know. Again, just doing whatever we could to make the show happen. So yeah, it
Boy,
stands out for me.
those poor people in that trivia, like just like playing pickup basketball and you don't even know Michael Jordan's playing with you. And it's just like you never stood a chance.
Yeah.
There's an assassin in this group that you don't want to do
Smoked
trivia
him.
with this guy. No.
And then I came back and I remembered all. I kept my answer sheet and I made you guys take the same trivia.
Yeah.
That's
I'm sure we
right.
failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we failed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo soy CanCon.
Very good.
All right, guys, let's wrap up these third picks here.
Alex, what you got?
I'm gonna take from our third retreat at Beacon Hill. I forgot my laptop. We got
Oh,
all the
yeah.
way there. We got all the way set up. We were gonna record like an episode, I think, when we got there, and it was like an hour 20-minute drive. Got to the house, unpacked, and it was just like, there's only one piece of gear that is central and needed to make this happen, which is my laptop, which I can record and like have everything on. And the one brain of the thing we needed was gone, and it's just like, all right, guys, I'll be back in 2.5 hours or so. I got to drive an hour back, get my laptop, and drive again. But you guys, the low key pick is again just like that 2-hour drive. I had so much time to just think about the show, and I got very, very thankful. I don't know. I was just like, you guys are so cool. We had such a good time, and everyone rolled with the punches. I think you guys just cooked dinner while I was gone.
It was great.
And I've never had that where I was so flustered at the unforced error of just forgetting my laptop. But it was so cool about it, and it was like, you know what, this weekend's gonna be great, and it was. I came back, we had dinner. Anne pranked us by accidentally spilling the whole pot of dinner. If you remember, she like filled it with. I think she made a
I
decoy.
thought that was a different
She
retreat.
did. She did that at a different place.
Was that different?
retreat, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was the first
that
ever
was it.
one
Okay.
in
I'm putting those
Rhododendron.
together. Well, I'm taking all
Yes,
the retreats.
but
then
still.
I'll take them all.
Very well. Very well.
Uh,
I mean, we're running out of time here, so yeah, you
all right,
got to.
Done.
Okay.
John, take us home.
Very good. The third retreat at Beacon Hill and all the other retreats. I will just take. I just got to take the Airstream trailer at Open Signal.
Good take. Good take.
It was a saga in this podcast that was relatively brief. I think it was kind of just like the fall and winter of 2019, and it was. I think we stopped because of maybe it went. I think the trailer closed for a second, and then
Well,
COVID
it wasn't.
happened.
So it wasn't just the trailer. It was like a building that had like a TV stage and like other things. But like they had a podcast
Right.
recording set up in an Airstream trailer in their parking lot.
Right.
Indeed.
So it's not that the trailer went under; it's that the whole operation did.
No, it's still there. It's all still there. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, I mean that was just like
It was a cool little trailer.
special time. Yeah.
We had to get everything to like do the podcast beforehand, and they would give you a briefcase with like a thing that you attach to your wrist, like it was the nuclear codes. That was always really fun.
Yeah, for
Under
sure.
lock and key. Yeah, it was cool.
And it was very cozy in there. It had a little electric heater, and it was like the only time we were there was in the winter, I think.
Yeah.
And it had all these little pictures on the wall that were like Ira Glass and like other.
Yeah.
It just was
very gross. Yeah.
Bob Boylan.
And then
Audrey Cornish.
sometimes we'd walk down the street to Bunk Bar to get sandwiches.
It was so close to my house. When I think about like where I am now,
now you're
it was so
5,000 miles
close to
away.
my house.
Yeah.
I think that's a weird little blip in our recording.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a
It was a beautiful
kinda
blip.
almost magical. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, any honorable mentions? Other times you were thinking about taking? I was about to take. Dude, are those swords?
Bro, are those swords? Yeah.
Bro, those
Yeah.
swords. That's a great one. One that I had, and you kind of alluded to it, Alex, but like I remember I was on a work trip and it was right after we had released the Creed/Office Ladies episode around right after Office Ladies announced, but I didn't put out an episode and we added in our title. So a lot of people found us, which was amazing, but like we spiked on the charts and we got like a notification or an email about it. And like seeing that email was so crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember being on a work trip and checking my phone and being like, oh my God, but like not really being able to think about it too much. But that one really stands out for me.
I think our high watermark, yeah, we hit the top 10 in TV and
On
film
iTunes,
podcasts
TV
on
and film.
iTunes.
Yeah. Isn't that ridiculous?
Like number 8 or
I remember
something.
I took a screenshot and it was like us and like I'm trying to remember the other ones, but it was like very famous like
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Oh, there was like a couple Ringer podcasts. There was
One was Ellen, I remember.
yeah, and we were like, yeah, I took the screenshots too. That was wild. But
Yeah.
that all had to do with Office Ladies and like because that
Totally.
they do those charts based on like how much you're blowing up, and that was
Mhm.
thanks to the Office Ladies for everything they've done
Thanks
for
to
us.
and everyone for listening. I mean we should move on to the main event,
Let's
right?
do
Which
it.
is our conversations. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think so. The way this works is we're gonna start with a nifty gifty from the Tots. So I think
Let's bring
Kayla is gonna
Kayla.
join.
Yeah, can you unmute Kayla? Hello.
So stop staring at my breasts and start looking at my penis. Hey guys. So real quick, huge shout out to everyone in Discord for being patient with us. We had some issues where the text chat for the channel wasn't working, so we're just using Scott's Tots. So yeah,
Sweet.
that was exciting.
Appreciate that. By the way, for
And we
anyone
maxed
who
out at
Kayla-
people, so some people had to leave.
For anyone that doesn't
Yeah.
know, Kayla has been integral to this. Everything you're seeing here, also within our Discord, running the fan group on Facebook all this time. Kayla is our North Star.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank
Yeah.
you. Just trying to make your guys' life easier.
And you
you
have.
do.
lot.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing. So anyway, but yeah, tell us what
You're
'cause-
working with a very flawed group. Yeah.
yeah, boy, oh boy. Sorry, you got thrown into this snake pit.
Very aware.
So we haven't heard this. I have not seen this. None of us
you.
have heard this, but this has been put together. Kayla's helped edit this together. This is an audio nifty gifty. Tell us about it. What do we need to know?
Yeah, so soon after you guys announced doing a live show, or we all assumed that you were, some people asked if there was anything that we could do, and I decided to volunteer myself for some reason to put together something for you guys.
Oh my god.
So 15 people ended up sending me recordings, and I had actually a very clear thing of what I wanted to accomplish, and it turned out really great. The feedback I got back on it has been incredible, and just everyone get ready.
Oh my god. I'm nervous.
There might be some tears because so far everyone has had tears.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
great. Well, I'm gonna play
Okay.
this.
I was even tearing up while editing, so
Oh boy. All right, this is
It's audio, correct? Like,
I don't know.
Yes,
this
it's
is just
just audio.
I'm just gonna play this. So, and it looks like it's about 3 minutes or so. So we're just gonna have a little listening time together. This is on the to-do list. We are at the nifty gifty from the Tots. Thank you so much, Kayla. Let's
You're
get to
welcome.
this.
From a lifelong fan, not of just the Michael Scott Podcast Company, but of Alex, of Sean, and of Edwin. A lifelong fan. I love you guys. Congratulations on 200 episodes. Thank you so much.
Aw. Oh, no.
Hi, Michael Scott Podcast Company.
What up, Cynthia?
Aloha and hello.
Hey, MSPC.
Hey, what up, Cynthia?
my boys.
I'm Beyonce always.
Hey, MSPC.
Howdy, partners. It's Gun Safety Dwight. Just kidding. It's Laura from Columbus, Ohio.
Thaddeus, Piney Woods, East Texas.
This is Andrea, a.k.a. Andrea the Office Bitch.
It's Ann from Wisconsin.
Jen V from North Las Vegas, Nevada.
This is Harley. It's Allison from Dunder Mifflin, Kansas City.
Jason from Illinois here.
I'm your nun with a gun in Canada.
Brianna from Southern California.
This is Laura from Columbus, Ohio.
And my name is Delisa.
This is Ashley, co-host of the MSPC Fan Group podcast, and I just wanted to say congrats to you all on 200 episodes.
Congratulations.
Congrats on 200 episodes.
I just wanted to congratulate you.
Congratulations on 200 episodes.
Thank you so much for keeping us entertained during all our boring commutes, walking the dog, doing dishes, laundry, you name it. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you for your cat-approved podcast.
Thank you so much for all of your hard work and your dedication.
Thank you, and keep up the great work.
And I just want to thank you for making me feel this way, that I've got to go on this journey with you guys.
It has been a pleasure to be a part of Scott's Tots and listen to you guys every week. I mean, you guys bring so much joy.
I have been an avid listener of your fine podcast since July of 2020. You gentlemen kept my spirits up through one of the toughest weeks of my life.
We've laughed, and it's all because of you.
My good friends, you loom so large in my heart that I just had to call in and tell you how much joy your podcast has given me over the years.
The three of you are truly amazing as podcast hosts and just as people in general. I love hanging out with you guys.
Love the pod, love being a Scott's Tot. Been a fan for years. Love listening to you, especially while I'm training for races.
We've seen you guys go through a lot of different milestones, and the sense of community that you've built just means so much to me personally, and I know it means a lot to a lot of other people too.
It's hard to put into words how great this podcast is. It's by far my favorite podcast.
Love the pod, love you guys, love the community you've created. From the Facebook page to Scott's Tots and now on Discord, I feel like I have found my people. I have to say, it is going immensely.
Blah, 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 little comment. Yeah.
Sorry I annoyed you with my friendship.
Life is short. Drive fast and leave a sexy corpse.
And you're all employees of the month in my heart.
Let's see if you make it to 300, 400 episodes and beyond.
Peace out, Seacrest.
Bye, Cynthia.
Bippity boppity.
Give me the zappity. Yes, sir.
Happy 200th.
Oh my wow. Oh my
That was
god.
so sweet.
Guys. And Kayla, wow. Okay. First of all, Kayla, that was so nice. That was
Thank you.
Good editing job.
incredibly edited. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Alex, you're out of a job, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
For everyone that was in Discord, you're probably gonna be able to hear the music and stuff that was with that are in the recording or
Mhm.
rewatch on YouTube because the
Yeah.
music wasn't coming through. But yeah,
Cut
sorry
out a
about
little
that.
bit, but that was
it's fine.
That was no, I could hear all the messages though, and that was just so. That was it. I mean, I'm gonna have to listen to that again. That was so. We have so many people from all over the plate, all over the world. It's so. I'm kind of shocked, actually. Sorry.
That was amazing.
Thank you, guys.
You guys are just the best. You guys are the best.
Thank
wow.
you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kayla.
Thank
That
you,
is
everybody.
You're welcome.
Whew. My heart soars with the eagle's nest.
With the eagle's nest. Yes.
You know, it's funny. Like, I think we just had this thing where we were thinking about individual moments, and obviously this one, I mean, I think takes the cake. But like, it's one thing that is, I think, happened, and we talked a little bit about, you know, getting an increase in listenership and all the funny moments that happened in the early days. But like, I think in the last, I don't know, year or so, like, I think what has been the most amazing thing is like this developing sense of community we've had around the show, and like, I think that's something that was the least predictable, but also like the most valuable. You know, just that like we have this group of people that I think we speak to every week, speak back to us. It's incredible, like that we know these people, these personalities just as well as they know us. It is, I don't know,
it's wild,
like nothing else. Yeah,
and we've gotten so many emails too over the years of just people, specifically like, the ones that really touch me are like people will write us from like a hospital where they're like they've been dealing for weeks with something, or they some is going on in their life and they're really struggling, and people will write us and just like even if people just use us to fall asleep too, awesome. Like it's great. It's so great that it's like, I mean, at least we get help that way, like some way, or just to like spend time with you, hang out with us. I mean, you guys have really, like, for everything that you guys say of all that, it's also come back to us. Like it's really provided a lot just to the three of us over the course of the last few years.
Yeah,
There's somebody named Fumi who wrote us a message like years ago, and that one always stood out to me. I won't recap what it was, but I hope they're listening, just so that we can
Fumi,
say,
if you're out there,
thank you, and that I hope,
love ya. Yeah, I feel we have gotten like some emotional messages like throughout the years, which has just kind of always been, it's just wild to read those or listen to those voicemails. And I mean, we're really grateful when you reach out with those messages, and we're really glad that you enjoy the show.
I mean, that's why I wanted to do that for you guys. 'Cause you guys have meant a lot to all of us.
Kayla, you're the best.
Kayla, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's so sweet.
I love it.
Well,
I love it more. I love it.
Oh man!
You know what?
Another moment. I
This
was
is what we
thinking
could
of drafting.
We could re-listen to that and have this.
I just love a little taste of it.
That's gonna be me with that when I'm sad and I play that nifty gifty again. What were you saying, Sean?
Oh, I was just gonna say another moment I was thinking about drafting was the first time you ever did I stuttered me.
Nothing
to many more.
Using a drop to dunk on Sean is my favorite thing that we do for sure.
Hey everyone. I need a new Ryan.
You're bad at this too.
Yeah.
Hey
I
everyone,
like that one.
Kevin's gonna give us his take
Oh,
on the
gosh.
situation. Let's listen up.
Oh my God. Well, everyone, thank you so much for that. I'm gonna listen to that several more times.
Kayla, we're gonna have to have you back on to do a Mad Lib. I know we talked about that, but I think we want to take the second hour here and get to some of the calls. But we'd love to have you on for some Mad Libs. People like the Mad Libs. I can't believe it, but they did. So
We
maybe
do. We love them.
I can't believe it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to the let's move over. Yeah. Thank you again, Kayla. I'm hoping you can assist with the muting. I saw Thaddeus just left the queue. I wonder if he had other things to do. That's a bummer. Almost got Thaddeus.
Yeah, he's on kid duty today.
Okay. Well, tell him,
Very good.
even if his kids are on in the background, joined by his phone, we'd love to say hi. And then, but let's get to this. I'm going to pop up that. There we go. All right, let's do some. Oh, Sean's calling this customer feedback. I liked it. That's nice, Sean. Okay, so Kayla, who are we starting with? Where should we start?
Let's start with Sheed.
Oh. Is Sheed? Shed?
to arrive.
Sheed? Who knows?
I thought he said Sheed.
I know.
He is now unmuted.
I know. Matt, can you hear us?
Matt,
oh
are
boy.
you there?
Matt.
Uh-oh.
This is live. You're on the air.
Okay.
Matt. All right, we'll come back to Matt.
He shows he's unmuted, but yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, we can go to Gen V.
Jen.
She in?
Oh, Jen from the Tots. I see Jen. I see Jen on there.
There we are.
There we go. Jen, can you hear us? There
we
she
go.
is. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome, Jen. How are you
Hi,
today?
guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome
Hi,
to the
good.
show.
How are you? Thank you. Well, the question I had, you guys kind of already just answered it. I was just going to say that I've enjoyed your podcast and being a part of the Scott's Tots family. And I was going to ask how the podcast has been, if it's been fulfilling and in what way for creating the community for the office and, and everything, but you guys kind of just already answered it.
I guess
Yeah,
we
no,
did.
but it's
So-
a good question because I feel like it's it certainly I think I never expected it to go this far, and and
Yeah.
and I remember very clearly the times that Alex and Edwin were like, "Let's start a Patreon and like, you know, ask people to subscribe to the show." And I was like, "I don't know if we're ready for that, man. That sounds like a pretty big step." And then we did it and it worked. And then it was, talking about, joining a network and anyways, like it's just I always expected this to just be this little hobby on the side, and it's grown to be so much more, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Jen, I do
Yeah,
think
no,
I
I've
kind of
been-
answered for like just the feedback I've heard of people who like people like it, but people who almost like just really enjoyed spending time with us and feel like we're a part of their lives, even if it's just to help them sleep or help them just get through something. That's always been the best thing.
Right. Yeah.
I think
And when?
there's, I mean, one thing that's interesting about our show and with The Office in general is like I don't think The Office. I mean, we've talked about how it's kind of it's not where it was in like the pop cultural zeitgeisty collective mindset. I think it was a few years ago,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But I think with our show, it's more about sort of deepening this community or like creating this like the way that our show has become interactive in a way is really amazing and in a
Mhm.
way that I just hadn't really expected. And it's very easy to because it's been however many mailbags and however many questions. It's easy to not realize how amazing it is, but yeah, it's incredibly fulfilling. And then I guess like the other thing too is just to have this as it's not just a side project, it is
Mhm.
it is something else, something very I think near and dear to our hearts. So
And
it is
initially it was-
amazing that we can just create a little community around just friendship,
And initially it was such like having a creative outlet or just something that wasn't work, to do. And like, so that's always been, that's always been the undercurrent, I think. But like you said, and yeah, it really grew into like something totally else that it's almost like a partnership with the audience where it's like, we need you, you need us. Let's keep this going.
Yeah.
Let's help each other out.
Totally.
And it's just been awesome. And I know like I beat myself up a lot for like, oh, we could be doing this, but it's hard enough just to get together for an hour and a half once a week with the three of us, with everything going on in our lives. That I'm still just proud we even are still doing it after 4 years. I did not.
Yeah, 4 years, man.
Crazy.
It's a whole kid went to college.
Yeah,
Kid's gone through
that's
college or high
awesome.
school. Shout out to Logan. Logan, are you out there? Cover your ears,
Where
Logan.
is he?
Oh, he can hear us swear now. Oh, he could totally hear us swear. Good old Logan.
Yeah, I've been wondering about him too.
Yeah.
Wonder how he's doing.
Wonder how he's doing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jen. Thank you
thanks,
for your
Jen.
Thank
support.
you.
You've been there. You're always active on the Tots page. We love it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you for
Thank
your
you.
recording.
It's been great. Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks, Jen.
Hi.
All
Bye,
right.
Thanks.
Who's next? Matt.
Okay, we're gonna
Matt,
try
can you?
Matt again.
Yeah, Matt, can you hear us?
Okay, Matt, you're unmuted. I just messaged him. So
Oh boy.
I think he's having technical difficulties.
I think so.
Oh, that's too bad.
Put him back in the
Get
shed.
him eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. This reminds me of our first live stream where nobody could hear me.
That's
Yeah.
right. I think we
One of
were
my-
totally muted for
One of
a
my
while.
crowning achievements for sure. Matt, of
Was
course.
finally getting making it so that people could hear me. Yes, I agree.
Well, maybe we can go to someone else while we wait.
Oh, dang it. Now Discord's being ridiculous for me. Okay. We will then go on to large tuna.
Large tuna.
Welcome to the show.
Hello.
So this is Maddie calling from San Diego, but originally from Southwest Portland. So go Portland.
Oh, right on.
Hey, Maddie.
Southwest. Where at?
Whereabouts? Yeah.
I went to Wilson.
What was your?
Okay,
Oh,
to
cool.
Wilson. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Hillsdale.
Sorry, yeah, if I remember. Yeah, I was gonna say if I remember where you guys went, We did not like your high school.
Sunshine State.
That's right.
Yeah, everyone hates us. That's fine.
I used to live over by Wilson. I used to go to that farmer's market.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The Wilson Pool, integral to a lot of childhoods in the Portland area.
Yes. But so I have a question for you guys. A little less sentimental than all the other ones. So.
That's great.
Right,
let's dry the tears.
Yeah, pick it up. But so this weekend, a bunch of old college friends were in town to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and we maybe went a little too hard celebrating. So I was wondering what your guys' go-to hangover cure is, and what you think the different characters in The Office would say their hangover cure is. I imagine Dwight would have some family passed down gross juice that he drinks every day or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Michael has some weird thing. I mean, just even when he gets injured, that that he needs yams for some reason.
Yeah.
I have a feeling his hangover routine really has no logic to it.
Sean, please guide us here. You've had some hangovers. We've all had some hangovers, but I feel like for as good of a cocktail maker and brewer you are, you're just as good at hangover cures.
I feel like you kind of have to cycle through hangover cures too, because like if you use one too much, it starts to remind you of being hungover, and then it's counteractive.
Yeah,
but
it's like a sandwich with like sardines and parsnips and
radish,
low fat butter. And,
butter and
I'd
clay.
start with one of those, certainly. Yeah. Man, I feel like my typical routine is wake up, take some ibuprofen and drink a bunch of water, and then like wait, like basically don't eat until dinner because I just feel awful.
Rally, more SoCo.
So your hangover cure is just to be hungover?
Body shots off myself.
Something like that. Yeah. No, gosh.
I know. I've done this with you,
sitting
Sean.
in the shower.
We go out for
Being
pho.
Miserable.
Go out for pho.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, pho is
or order it in.
Pho
I
and
mean,
ramen.
don't go out, but
definitely
order it in. Yeah, yeah. A little Jessica in YouTube, Northern Lights Cannabis Indica. Yeah, a little. That never hurts sometimes. Although I can't like. I don't want to get another something that messing with my head and my body generally. That worked when I was younger, but hangover cures definitely evolve as you age. Right now, couple ibuprofen and like an ice cold like 7-Up or Sprite just gets me feeling right. Obviously the waters, you need that, but like something about just a lemon lime soda, couple of aspirin, and just going on a walk. If I move around, that really helps me.
That did just remind me, Alex, that a Mexican Coke, like in the glass bottle, that's over like a glass full of ice, and just drink that. Like you need like a little sugar to get you some energy. Like it's great. To the dome, so good.
Para ti.
Oh, now it's all coming back to me. And pickles. Pickle juice, man. Seriously, you're
just rolling right over me here.
I'm sorry. I'm stealing picks.
Yeah.
I mean,
talk about something that you used to do for hangovers when you were in LA. But number one option is pickle juice, and these guys know I get more hungover than most, but pickle juice is the best thing for hangovers for sure, if you can stomach something. And then other than that, ramen again, like they said, for me, like instant ramen if you're at home and you can make an instant ramen. But then also a breakfast burrito with a Mexican Coke. That's number 3.
Oh yeah. Big old breakfast burrito. Any good breakfast but there's sometimes hangovers where I'm just like food. I can't think about food either. Yeah. But the ones that you can, breakfast burrito hits hard. Yeah.
But
great question.
Let's get to some of the first Office content of this episode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hangovers for Office characters.
The first one's got to be Dwight with some sort of beet concoction.
Yeah, beet puree.
Yeah,
raw beet puree to the dome.
Yeah,
for sure. I could see
A
that.
beet juice with a bunch of ginger and stuff in it. That'd be good.
This is oil from the gland of an otter.
Yeah. I could see Robert California probably has someone. He does one of those IV things. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like he has someone come over
IV drip
and do an IV drip and just like circulate his blood. He's like, I spin my blood, you know, and I'm back at it again by 10 a.m. You know,
I replace my plasma at regular intervals. Find that I can entertain more of the vino and in vino veritas, as it were.
Science has grown vastly more interesting. Yeah. That's probably good. Daryl probably goes and gets tacos. Taco air. He gets out of the basement, but he's still getting tacos.
Yeah.
I imagine Jim and Pam are very basic, like Gatorade, very, very simple.
Yeah.
You know, like
They don't get
Stay
hung
home
very much
with the blinds closed. Yeah. Meredith is just.
I was gonna say Meredith probably just doesn't get hung over.
Hair of the dog. Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. Yeah.
She just keeps going. She just never stops.
Based on what she offers Michael and D'Angelo, maybe it's Vienna sausages and napkins.
Or, yeah, I was gonna say she probably drinks a Bud Light with a cigar. That's her bag of cigars. Yeah.
How about Michael?
I don't mind telling you that I have an addiction. I do. To porn.
Michael, man, okay, well, Michael really does love breakfast. We know that. We know with the George Foreman grill and the bacon and the making the pancakes.
It's good for me.
Yeah. So I do think that probably cooking breakfast is part of it.
I'm imagining that Michael, in an effort to shortcut all of this, puts all the elements of breakfast into a blender. Like I'm imagining him putting raw eggs, orange juice, flour, and maple syrup into a blender, and then drinking it and being like, it always makes me sick, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, just like
something about it just always makes me sick. Yeah.
Oh, or he makes like 9,000 pieces of French toast and just eats them all. Oh, it's awful.
And he's like, and by the time I'm done cooking them, I don't even feel hungover anymore.
Yeah. Gabe has all that powder at his house. He probably has some Japanese the hangover thing that he imports straight from Tokyo. Andy, boots and rallies. We know this. Morsoko.
Yep.
He's explained how he deals with hangovers.
Andy, you know what Andy does? Andy Postmates like a lot of food.
And eats
really runs up the credit card bill
a tiny bit and then throws the rest of the way.
He's like, I'm done. Yeah.
Oh, I can't even look at food right now. Just as soon as it shows up. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Aaron boils Gatorade.
Aaron boils Gatorade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or the reserved hot dog water from the week.
Maybe mixes them together. Who knows? Well, we could probably move on. We have a lot to Tots to get to, but we can come up with
that
these
is such a fun. I
day.
love that question. That's a fun one. And of course another thing that I like to do when I'm very hungover is just make the living room dark and turn on The Office and just drift in and out of sleep.
Make the living room dark.
Yeah, it's just
very different than turning the lights off. Yeah.
I'm imagining you like throwing paint on the walls. I must make this room dark.
Like Dwight's office.
This light is a blight.
We know Ryan does his morning cocaine. We know this as well.
Morning ecstasy.
Morning ecstasy, excuse me. That helps him get out. All right. Great question. Thank you, Large Tuna, aka Maddie from Wilson.
Thank you, Maddie.
From Wilson.
Yeah. from Wilson High in Arizona.
High alumni.
Number 3. Yeah. All right. Has Matt gotten his shit together yet? What's going on?
He said he asked if he could be last.
Okay.
So
Sure.
While he figures things out. So we're gonna go to Dassel 526.
Dassel 526.
Should be good to go.
Yeah.
You need to.
I gotta unmute. No,
there we go.
There we go. Hey,
hi.
What's up?
Well, my name's actually Delisa, but that's just my handle. And thank you, first of all, for getting my name right whenever you read my questions from Patreon. I appreciate that.
Oh,
do we? Oh, that's good news.
Thank you, Delisa.
I just wanted to say thank you. Not only do you give such insightful, meaningful things, but you're not afraid to share your true opinions about the show. I mean, it's obvious that you love it, but you also aren't afraid to like criticize it when criticism actually needs to be given. Like you really truthfully give your opinions, and it's interesting that you guys don't even agree, but you're so respectful of one another, and you just give your open and honest opinions, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Delisa. Yeah. No, I think that was
I
always
respect
like.
Edwin. I respect Edwin so much.
No,
sorry. I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Meant as a compliment to Edwin as well as a slight to Sean.
There was a comment in the Discord chat about looking forward to Sean's argument and Edwin's well-reasoned defenses.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
I sit between these two great minds battling it out. I have the front row seat every week.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sean's usually the more negative one. Edwin goes positive, and Alex is somewhere right in the middle.
You just catch me on a certain day. I can go either way. Yeah.
Alex
True.
is the
Mama
one we
bear,
most
Papa
medium.
bear, baby
the
bear.
one we most medium suspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know.
But I do have one funny thing. So
Uh-huh.
you know how Ellie talks about hoping that tacos don't have eyes?
Yeah.
So I actually traveled to Japan several years ago, and I was with a performing arts organization teaching kids a workshop over there. And so we were staying in people's homes that we had never met, and I did not speak Japanese, and they barely spoke English. And I arrived the first night from flying from California to go to Japan, and they said the next day, we're going to have tacos. And I said, well, that's very interesting that I fly to Japan and have tacos,
I
but
think
okay.
I know it. Yeah.
And it turns out taco in Japanese means octopus.
Yep.
So in their country, taco actually does have eyes.
Wow.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So every
love
time I
that.
hear that quote, I'm like, but they do have eyes in Japan.
Wow.
So I had to gracefully turn
That's-
it down because I do not eat octopus or any fish at all. So I was like, I'm very sorry.
Oh my gosh, that is funny though. Yeah, that's right. I've had there's like the squid balls are called like
Takoyaki.
takoyaki. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. I love that.
That's
We had-
hilarious. So
Speaking of Japanese tacos, Sean, we went to Vegas for our friend's birthday back in February, and we went to Morimoto's restaurant in Vegas and had one of the best little dishes I've had in a while. But they had basically tuna, like sushi tuna tacos, but with fried wonton wrappers as the shells, or like as the delivery vehicle, and it was so
Delicioso.
delicious. And no octopus, but it was tuna, large tuna. And, anyway, that's all I got to say about Japanese tacos.
octopus has been growing on me.
You should get that checked out.
You know,
Ever
I
s-
was oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go.
No.
I was recently in Medford for the wedding of my dear friends Brant and Steph. You guys know Brant, big baller Brant. I see who's been alluded to on our podcast. So there were
welcome to the big baller zone.
Yeah, in my heyday, never lost. There were a couple people at the wedding that were family friends who were from Japan, but they also didn't speak much English. And your story just made me think of this. And you know, during the wedding, there was a wedding and then a few events that happened afterwards. But there were like a guy and a girl who were talking a lot during the one of the events. And then at one point, like that, the guy left and another guy went to talk to that same girl. And one of the Japanese ladies put in her translator something, and it said, "A new adversary has arrived." This is like the perfect commentary on the situation.
That's so funny.
A new contender has entered the ring. Yeah, it was very, very funny.
Oh, bro, are those swords? All right.
Yeah. I mean, I love those elements of you're trying to connect across cultures, but it's always fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
One last quick thing before I let somebody else talk to you all.
Yeah.
So I moved from California. I've lived there my entire life, and we moved here to Ohio just a couple of years ago. We now live in Cincinnati area. And just
Miami.
like Kelly,
Nice.
yeah, I had no idea that there were so many things with the name of Miami, like 6 or 7 towns, even just right around the Cincinnati area. I work by one of the Miami University like satellite schools. It's pretty hilarious to me because I knew Miami,
Wow.
Florida, of course, but I'm exactly like Kelly. I had no clue.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you all again for
Yeah,
all of
'cause
your
his mom's probably
inspirational
not a Nissan
podcasts,
Z.
your wonderful friendship with each other. You're amazing.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Delisa.
thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
supporting the show and for calling in.
Yeah.
Love it.
And thank you for your recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
What's gonna?
Oh, sorry. That was not the Kelly drop I thought it was.
I was like, is someone on mute?
Uh-oh.
You
Uh-oh.
look amazing.
There we go. Thank you. Let's who's next? Who we got? Who's up next?
We got PK is up next.
Oh, PK.
All right.
Hi. Testing
Hello.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we got you. Loud and clear.
Hi, hello there.
Yay. Hi. Well, it's great to be able to talk to you guys live and in person. So I have a note in my phone that I just take notes on when I get an idea that I want to ask you guys.
Lovely.
And I've been debating like calling in and leaving a voicemail, but I know you guys have a thing about having them be like short and sweet. So I was like, okay, I'm going to write this paragraph and I'm going to recite it and I'm going to time it and make sure I can keep it under a minute, like whatever they say. So I'm going to practice what I was going to leave as a voicemail and I'll just do it here instead. And you guys can critique if it was fast enough or whatever. So,
Very good.
Sure.
okay, so here is what would have been my voicemail. Okay. In the episode Dwight K. Schrute, acting manager from season 7, Dwight staggers everybody's lunch breaks to maximize productivity. We find out that Jim's lunch is at 10:30 a.m. I always thought Dwight did this to Jim as a punishment, but after watching the extended version of Golden Ticket from season 5, I have different thoughts. From Golden Ticket, Dwight explains to Michael that he is famished by 10 a.m. and thus eats his own lunch before 11 a.m. Does this mean that in Dwight's mind, 10:30 is the ideal lunchtime? Meaning that, as acting manager 2 seasons later, when Dwight would stagger everybody's lunch breaks, he would actually be giving Jim what he thought was the best slot. Swallow this idea, digest it, and see what comes out the other end.
Nice.
I thought that was a great voicemail.
Yeah.
Well done.
Good voicemail. Well timed. That's under the 90-second threshold. I mean, 90 seconds is the threshold. 60 is nice. 30, you're getting on there. But no, that wonderful voicemail.
Alex is a real stickler about these things. Yeah.
I am.
No kidding.
Good to
I
know,
am.
good to know.
But that's interesting. I don't know if I caught that when I watched the Superfan cut, but perhaps Dwight is doing Jim a favor.
This strikes me as a Dwight, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but Jim is also my enemy. But if Jim is my enemy, then he's also my friend. But like it goes back and forth. I don't know that there's that Dwight really knows what he's doing well enough. I can't see why he would be fueling his greatest adversary at this point.
Yeah,
but
I think Dwight's perception of Jim is he's lazy, he's late, he's you want to listen to some records? Like that's very much how he's perceived. And so for him, he's like, I'm going to make Jim basically eat breakfast at what I assume is when he would like to be doing that.
But maybe Jim, by giving Jim an earlier lunch, maybe Dwight is trying to give him the thing that he needs the most.
Oh, that's a
By
Dwight.
that
That's a
extra
very
energy
Dwight
boost.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a super Dwight thing.
But yeah,
But
yeah, no, I was thinking that Dwight becomes acting manager. Jim is now the best salesman in the office and Dwight's best salesman. And therefore he has some responsibility to, make sure that Jim is well fed, ready to sell.
but
I don't know.
But well, it's like I do like when he's like, oh, the second half of the day really drags. Eating lunch at 10:30. That just reminds me. I think we've talked about this one a lot, Edwin. But I think there was an Onion headline a few years ago that was like, "Man says fuck it, eats lunch at 10:55
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've done working from home when it's like 10:45. I'm hungry. I'm like, I'm I'm gonna get to the leftovers. Let's go.
That was a classic for especially with onion headlines. Our dear friend Peter, who was mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
we just send each other onion headlines every now and then, and that's an all-time classic.
It really is. Yeah. Good question. Good question. Thank you, PK. Great
Nice chat.
voicemail.
Yeah.
Please leave more.
Nice.
You-
I
you-
will. I'll have to think of one now. Thank you.
And PK, where are you calling from? Where are you at?
I'm in Salt Lake City.
Oh, well, lovely. I was
right, nice.
just there not 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, if you ever come back, my Wi-Fi is Alfredo's Pizza Cafe, and the password is It's Brittany Bitch.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you so much.
Can I add
Thanks,
one thing
guys.
about voicemails?
Yeah, of
Which
course.
is
Yeah.
One thing that I love to see when we go through voicemail episodes is that we can see the ones where people like start it and then they like realize
They're
they
like,
either
"Ah,
made a
fuck."
mistake or they don't feel like they're fast enough and they hang up and they call again. Like you can always hear that it saves them.
Yeah.
So it's always
Yeah.
fun to see the process come to life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and go ahead. If you need
don't
if
let-
you need 3-4 takes, that's fine. Like
Yes.
Go
it's
ahead.
totally fine. Yeah, go for it.
Take your time.
Take your
Don't
time.
let that discourage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finish up.
finish up.
Ooh, that's synergy.
You feel that energy? Thank you, PK in Salt Lake City. I gotta say too, really quick, we didn't shout this out, but we were talking about Miami, Ohio. Katie Ham in YouTube chat goes to Miami University, sitting in the dorm right now.
Oh.
Say hello to LeBron James and Gloria Estefan.
Yeah, yeah. Big shout out. All right, thanks, PK. All right, who do we got next?
Next, we have Ashley Toy, who is also one of the MSPC fan group podcast co-hosts.
Oh, yeah.
nice. Of
So
course.
I'm going to do a quick shout out for us
Nice.
to also Ryan McGowan and Mead Emily, and also Taylor, who are all co-hosts and are a great group of people. And just like the guys, we're all normal and we have stuff come up, and it's very hard to get 3 people together.
Isn't it? It
Kidding.
is hard, isn't it? It's tough. It's tough. Do it for 4 years. Yeah, it's hard.
And then
There's
have
5
one
of
of
us.
And then have 2 of you guys stay put while the other just moves away.
Yeah, navigate weddings, marriages, and moves to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening, please check out the fan group pod. It's amazing, especially the episode about Sean. That's my favorite. Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but just on that note, we've had some. Well, so my other friend Peter, and he hosts that what was it called, Missed Fortune podcast that I'd shared a while about the treasure hunters, and he's like a very, very professional audio journalist and makes incredible podcasts. And the Michael Scott fan group podcast is, like, he says, probably his favorite podcast, the fan one. He's like, because he's like, I have never heard a podcast that's so genuine and so real and just like totally pure.
He clearly hasn't listened to you guys.
He doesn't watch The Office. He does not like The Office. He's like, I don't need this. I don't want this.
Oh yeah, he can't listen to our garbage. Yeah.
No. So he doesn't listen
We're
to our
literally just doing your podcast.
and he doesn't listen to our show, but he listens, he loves the fan group podcast. And so you did a great job editing, Kayla, but I said, dude, you should offer to produce an episode of that or do something with that. Cause he's an extraordinary producer and editor. But anyway, I just want to know that,
Yeah,
like,
that'd be awesome.
from someone, an award-winning audio producer is like, this show is amazing. He genuinely
Wow.
loves it. So that's
We'll
all.
tell him thank you.
Yeah. I think he's in the Discord somewhere in the Discord too, but we'll see if we can get him. Anyway, all that to say, Ashley, welcome. How are you?
That's Ashley.
Hey, Ashley.
Hello.
Hey. Yeah, while
Welcome to
I
the
did
show.
go to journalism school, I did not win any awards for any podcasting that I did, but appreciate that you guys have listened and enjoy our silly little podcast about a silly little podcast. It's always a little wacky trying to explain to anybody what I'm doing. It's like, well, I listen to this podcast about The Office, and then I make a podcast about the podcast about The Office.
A show within a show.
And I think that one of our exactly, it's so meta. One of the things that I feel like is hard for us when we try to come up with topics is trying to, like, not make the podcast about The Office. Like, we're trying to make the podcast about the podcast. So
yeah.
You kind of touched on it in your draft for sure, but, like, what do you feel like is your favorite MSPC inside joke that you've had over the years? I think for me, the other day, last week I was training for a race, and like my neck got thrown out. I was worried I wasn't gonna be able to run the race, and so I'm like using this like massage cane thing. I'm rolling on a foam roller, and all I could think of was Edwin, tight, everything tight.
Oh my
Trying to
gosh.
work this knot out of my back. But again, just those inside jokes. What do you feel like is your favorite MSPC specific inside joke from over the years?
Tight, everything's tight. That is so funny.
There's a lot.
I have a.
I mean-
yeah. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
No. You go.
Well, I mean, I still need to think of mine, but I have a follow up to tight, everything tight, which was like, so when I was in Vietnam for work, you can get a massage there for very cheap, low prices. So I went to a place that my coworkers told me afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, we went there. Like they didn't want to go back because it's kind of intense. But I went. It was a Thai massage, and I'd never had like a full Thai massage before. But like, they like bend you in like all sorts of crazy shapes. And at one point at the end, the lady goes, hold my hand, please. And like she like makes I have to like reach my hand back, and like she grabs my arms, and I'm like just bent in a circle, and it's not what you like I expected from hold my hand, please. But I could hear it in my head clear as day. Hold my hand, please, and then I just get bent 360. Yeah.
Like you're in The Exorcist.
Yeah. That's what it was like. Yeah. But okay, what favorite pod inside jokes? You guys go ahead.
Gosh.
So Edwin and I talked at one point on the podcast about how I was making toast in the oven, and then that led to Toast Talk, which I just think is so funny.
Several people on Discord had toast for breakfast this morning in your honor.
Arguably our busiest and best channel is Toast Talk. Yeah.
I love it. And I love that it really was born out of people on Patreon when they'd send in their monthly mailbag questions. There would usually be one or two that were just like Toast Talk and then a toast related question. So I love that because, again, it's, the fans took it and made it what it is. So probably my favorite.
Alex, what you got going on in the background?
Sorry,
there?
I thought I had the 10-hour DVD logo loop, but YouTube gave me a 1-hour one, so it stopped, and I have to. So I'm just restarting it here. And there we go. Okay, we're back.
Thank goodness.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I have not seen this. Inside jokes. It's so hard because our normal life inside jokes bleed into the show so much of just
all the time.
Little references to our friends, to our past.
Sweet baby boinkers.
I was just gonna say, I think just something about sweet baby boinkers. I think we put that in a cold open at some point. It's not even necessarily a show inside joke, but it kind of became one just because of like when Edwin said that. But
we used to play Fall Guys.
We used to play Fall Guys, but shout out to our friend Colin.
Oh boy, I just got donked. Yeah,
Colin, if you're in the chat, please let yourself be known. But I think sort of a different version of that is just generally Edwin. I just lost my train of thought. It was the Sweet Baby Boinkers.
No, you were right there, man. You were going to say something great about me.
I was right there. It was something about one of your sayings. Gosh, I don't even remember now. Too much orange Vajuska. It was a lot stiffer than I thought it was going to be. I'll tell you that.
That's what she said.
Thank you. Oh, dude, that's my favorite inside joke. That's what she said. So funny.
I've got one that
Yeah, you go. I'm gonna remember what I was thinking of. You go.
Well, they're all little things. They're all like it's things like thought jot. It's stuff that we've talked about before. Bro of those swords. Did I stutter? The old timey radio voice.
Thank you. That's it.
Old time.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It's the old time radio voice. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Gosh. All right. Yeah.
We haven't done it in a very long time, but
it's
Rommel's tank go forth into Africa.
It's the sound. It's the sound of the film reel. I mean, that's
here. This American Life for me. Your Ira Glass is just
yeah.
favorite.
Did we ever tell everyone about the time? Oh, sorry, I cut off your.
This week, Rommel's tanks move forward into Africa.
Yeah, we did it a few times, but yeah, I think Edwin Old Time Film Reels could be its own separate podcast and a podcast as well. You should do it just reading today's headlines like that.
We did one about like minor league baseball once. That was fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sean, you were gonna say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say the time that we were in. Were we in Kentucky and we were all in an Uber, and the Uber driver told us that we sounded like we were on. We were.
Yeah.
We all had like
y'all sound like NPR
accents or
hosts.
something.
You all sound like NPR people, and then Clint said, "Do the voice."
And
We
then-
did it. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Come on down to the Gooyah. 2 times.
There's another inside joke, but yeah. Oh man, there are too many. There are too many.
Yeah.
Fun one, episode 1, season 4.
Classic.
Moving on. Season
Did
9,
I
episode
stutter?
15.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that there's probably more, but
I am lonely, and I need a new Ryan.
I love the new Ryan.
I love that one. There was another one that you said recently, Sean, that I asked Alex to clip. I don't know if you remembered, but I will make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I'll find it.
I
I'll find you the
remember what
timestamp.
it is.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
I'll do the homework for you.
One day I'll have a drop board of drops from the actual podcast of like imagine Sean pitting Sean against himself with drops. That'll be fun.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Ashley, do you have I think you already mentioned. Did you mention one? You did.
Yeah, it was tight. Everything tight.
Oh, tight.
that was just one
Tight.
that was just one that came up recently. But
Everything.
I mean, there's so many, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. They're just little things that kind of seep in from your life. I think that's
Yeah.
probably one of the many reasons why all of us feel like we're best buds with you all, even if we've never gotten to talk to you. So
Yeah.
appreciate that and appreciate everything you do very much. I became a Tot after your 100th episode live stream, so now I'm gonna have to.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I don't know what takes it to the next level after becoming a Tot and making a meta podcast. So I'll think of something. I'll hire a skywriter or
Yeah.
throw myself off the top of a building and say I lost my head when I fell in love with this
There you go.
podcast.
There you go.
Thanks. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ashley. Thank you for all your
Thanks, guys.
support. It means a lot. Yeah. Thanks for calling in. Jessica wrote saying, "Yeah, finish up." Always cracks her
Yeah,
up too.
finish up.
That's
Well, there you have it. I like that one a lot.
Oh yeah. So that was the folks on the Facebook fan group page like pointed out that I always finished the episode by saying, "Well, there you have it."
The logo for their show is just a treasure trove of inside jokes as well. The banner image.
Yeah, you can always go
Shout
check
out to
that
them.
out. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, next up, who we got, Kayla?
Next up, we're gonna have Julie, and Julie, you should be good to go.
Can you hear me?
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. So I have a question, but I also have a funny quick story first.
us.
I went on a little hike this morning with a couple friends, and I told them that I have to be home for 1 o'clock. I have this thing that I'm like, whatever. Asked me what I was doing, and so I started kind of trying to explain it. I was like, well, it's this, it's an office podcast, but it's this live stream episode special, and they're like, oh, is there somebody like from the show that does it? I was like, no, it's just these like 3 guys from Portland, and then wow,
Bunch of randos.
yeah,
Oh, you didn't say it was raining. The weather was bad.
they were like, wow, that is really niche. So that was kind of funny this morning, but
That's amazing.
I have a question. So, obviously, I think the mockumentary format is a big thing of what makes The Office like what it is. And I loved, your episode on that. But I'm wondering, what do you think would still work or not work at all if The Office was created as a traditional sitcom format rather than a mock?
Oh, interesting question. I don't know if we've ever talked about this.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
For the mockumentary episode, and I just never sent it in. So
It's a good one. Yeah.
So, question for you and for us: does it go multicam or does it stay single cam? You know,
Right.
Like
we're talking like flat set, laugh track, a la
right.
Fresh Prince,
Seinfeld.
or,
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Or are
Big
we
Bang
talking
Theory,
like
whatever
30
you want.
Rock, like just not a mockumentary?
Either one, probably.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I want to envision it as a flat set laugh track. So you have the office.
Yeah, I think that's the most extreme. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. And it has to go like it would all be linear. So there'd be like,
Right.
Michael's office on one side, then you have the bullpen, then you have the break room and the annex. Man,
The
I
laugh
feel
track,
like it could-
a laugh track would change the core and identity of the show. Which is this uncomfortable sort of, in the mockumentary format, you just have to sit with awkwardness so much. Like cringe, the cringe element is the deep roots of this show that come from the BBC office. So like, how do you
That's right. Yeah.
even have that feeling on a laugh track flat set sitcom?
But at the same time, I mean, you mentioned Seinfeld. Like Seinfeld did a lot of that. I think there would be elements of it that would definitely ring through. I think what's super interesting to me, and I'm thinking about it now, is that when you have a set like that, it has to be shot or portrayed in such a way that it has depth. So you think about Jerry, like there's usually a staircase in the back of one of those things, or like in
Right.
Jerry's apartment where the doors are placed. So if you were to frame the office this way, it might have to be from the position of Pam's desk. So maybe like
Right.
you're looking through Pam's eyes out into the office, and you see like the door to the conference room, the door to Michael's office, the door to the kitchen, the break room, etc. Like the way that we see the show would be totally different, and we'd probably be looking at like Jim in the back of Dwight's head and all this kind of stuff. I mean, depending on where you are in the series, but yeah.
Right.
I think that's a good point, and Alex, your point about losing the cringe, I think, is the most important thing, because I feel like Michael and Dwight are still these outrageous cartoonish characters, and you could totally still write them for that type of sitcom, and you could totally still have you could have all the Jim and Pam and Roy awkwardness there, but like I think what you lose in the talking heads, you could probably get back with like Jim telling Pam, if this was my career, I'd hate myself or something like that.
Right.
I think there'd be a way to still dress in that, all that kind of like narration, I guess, or extra commentary, but
sure. And even in
I think losing the cringe is the most important.
In a show, even a show like Seinfeld, I mean, it's not like they're just always in Jerry's apartment. Like there are other places. There's the diner. There'd be other sets. I could see the warehouse being a set.
Yeah, of course.
All the different the parking lot. You could still do all that, but like, I wonder who would be the person like Kramer when he comes in and it's like woo, like applause.
Yeah,
It'd have to be Dwight, right?
It'd have to be Dwight.
I was like, Dwight.
I mean, I think it'd be Dwight like coming into the door and be like,
Michael,
I have a question. Or like,
yeah, woo, and he'd stand there. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that you'd lose, not just from talking head, not just the narration, but you'd also lose the Michael sort of saying ridiculous things to himself element of the talking heads. That would be, you might have to replicate it somehow with like Michael doing like a video. Maybe you'd have some sort of device where Michael is working on Somehow I Manage in his office by himself, and he's walking around with a tape recorder saying these things that, like, instead of a talking head, he's talking into the microphone being like, well, today, was conflict resolution day. My tiger style defeats your monkey style. Like doing those things into a tape recorder or into a camera or something to try to preserve some of that. The other thing, Alex, that I think you allude to with the crowd reaction and the one character entering and the different sets is I think you would need like a little bit of a musical sting to kind of bridge those gaps the way that those sitcoms do.
yeah.
Like, think about the bass line in Seinfeld and stuff. You need like that little bit of the Office theme. That would take them from like the Office to the warehouse or the parking lot or wherever they go.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it for sure. Oh man, yeah. I could see the warehouse becoming like Daryl becoming more and more of like an oracle character for Michael, and maybe Michael goes like down to the warehouse to process stuff with Daryl all the time.
Right.
And Dwight, like the Dwight thing would be he would be such a Kramer on that show, but like he'd take himself so seriously. It would be just different if people were laughing, like the laugh track all the time.
It's also hard not to envision it like a play because you have everyone in the office all at once, and it's like with the mockumentary format, you can frame everyone out, like Stanley, Phyllis, Meredith, Creed, whomever. But like if you had the flat set, it'd be a lot harder to like frame everyone out. You'd have to you'd have to have them either in the background of every single scene, or you'd have to have something where they're not lit, like in a stage production or something. I don't know.
Jessica on YouTube saying Creed has Kramer energy, and I could see Creed being a catchphrase guy, like someone making soup. Whoa, yeah,
Yeah, coming in. Hey, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that too. Toby getting booed, you know, boo when he shows up
By the crowd.
Yeah, yeah, like that's like you could hit some of those same elements, but using the laugh track as like what the audience is supposed to think. You'd probably have to have a much smaller cast too. Ultimately, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think you could have as many people. You'd probably just need a few sales.
Or you would need to put characters like in the annex, or like maybe Phyllis is someone who works at Bob Vance Refrigeration.
Yep.
You know, like you would have to, or maybe someone like I don't know, like Creed or Meredith or even Kelly, like somebody works down in the warehouse. They have like a different like auxiliary sort of role, so you would place them in different areas. But yeah,
great question. Love that, Julie.
Yeah, I love this question.
Very fun question.
This is Kayla, you're right. This could be a whole episode, something to think about too, of like different formats of like how all the different ways you can make a comedy. Because there's also, we didn't talk about it, and maybe we'll save that. But like, what if it was done in 30 Rock style, or just a single cam,
like
no laugh
Malcolm in
track,
the
but
Middle.
not a mockumentary? Yeah.
Or like all Muppets.
Oh.
A Muppet episode of The Office, that's a hit. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There's your special, and then they only have to do voice acting.
White as a Muppet?
Yeah.
Definitely.
You could get everyone for that. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll start pitching that. Thank you. Great idea, Julie.
Yeah.
Great idea, Dwight.
Thank you so much.
Julie, thank you so much.
Who's up next?
All right, next we have Meredith, your boob is out, who is one of the moderators for the Discord.
Meredith, your boob is
Very
out.
good.
And you're good to go.
You will have to
Well, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Meredith.
Hi. Sorry, my voice is kind of scary. I'm sick right now, but
Sounds great.
I'm
Oh,
Meredith
good one.
from Carmel, Indiana. First, before my question, when you guys were talking about the voicemails you get and how you'll get the ones where people mess up first, I've left quite a few voicemails, and I was so excited when I heard mine on one of the listener voicemail episodes get played, and then after that you played one of my the ones I sent before that was messed up, and I
Oh,
exclaimed,
shoot.
God, tits and ass. And you guys loved that. And so I was like, okay, I guess it's kind of okay that they played the messed up one.
Sometimes it's just funnier, you know? That's just how it goes.
But my question is, in the episode Chair Model, when Michael goes on the date with the Margaret, the landlady, after he pretends that his name isn't Michael when he sees her, if I was her, it would be kind of clear to me that he was trying to get out of that date when he saw me. So I'm kind of wondering, and I was hoping that this was going to be answered in the superfan cut, but it was not. Like, how was Michael able to kind of bridge that between pretending that wasn't actually him to then cutting to them actually sitting on the date? Like, if I was her, I would have like walked around and left, because I would have been like, okay, you saw me, and then tried to get out of it. So I'm wondering what Michael did.
Yeah, I that's a good question. I don't know. I'm sure it was something bad, like just like, oh, what you said, Michael? I thought you said Weichel, and I was like, who is this crazy lady? And yes, it's me. Yeah, I don't know.
It is I, and here I am. Yeah.
Because obviously he wanted that super sugary drink that he ordered too.
Yeah, hot
Clutch
chocolate
cream
with
run,
shot
bro.
pepper.
Yeah, it kind of sounds good.
For Michael, yeah, that moment is so good.
I imagine. I mean, similar to the way he does on the date, he says like very nice things, kind of on accident. Where he's like, "Why can't two nice people find each other?" And like I imagine he said something similar where he's just kind of, he kind of accidentally says something very earnest. Where he says like, "I'm sorry, I'm just so nervous that I couldn't hear anything for a second, and I didn't realize you were." I can imagine Michael saying something like that ends up being graceful, even though he's just kind of having an improvisation.
Yeah, like
Right. Pulls upwards.
Yeah,
exactly.
like
yes,
he's like, oh, I just made up some crappy excuse, and it's like, oh, actually, no, that was a pretty good, genuinely good cover.
Or like,
But
yeah,
then he,
Michael's a really common name, and it's happened to me before, and I've just kind of it freaks me out, something.
And he's like, it's hard to be in public with these cameras on me, and I don't know where to.
There's a crew with me. You'll see them right here. They're gonna film our breakfast or our coffee.
Right. I didn't even think about the fact that Margaret is seeing a man with a full video camera pointing at her when she walks in.
It's funny because sometimes people do that. When Michael approaches them, they'll look at Michael, they'll look into the camera, and they'll look back at Michael. We see this happen several times, but a lot of times it doesn't. Yeah, and you're like, why? Of course, she would be freaked out. I would be like, you brought a camera crew to our blind date? Like, what? Want that footage? I need it.
Well, and the way that they were set up as well, like it's not as if it happened in one day. It seems.
Yeah.
Like it's not as if there was a lot of orchestration from Pam.
Yeah.
So like even the way she says Michael, like it's almost like not that she's seeking out a date, almost that she's looking out like one of her tenants or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Pam gave her the heads up, and Michael like probably he described how he looks. Like Michael's just so like he's in such a he just falls on his own sword, that sword all the time.
All right, question for you guys and for Meredith: if you were going to go on a coffee date, what would be your coffee order? Would it be something similar to Michael's hot chocolate?
I'm partial to like an oat milk latte. I get like pretty much every morning at Starbucks, I get a quadruple latte with oat milk and like 2 pumps of cinnamon dolce.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Sprinkle of cinnamon.
That sounds nice.
Sprinkle cinnamon.
It's good for me.
Oat milk is taken over, man. Stumptown Coffee now in Portland, default oat milk if you ask for it.
Give me that cow juice, baby. I love me some half and half. Cream and sugar every morning.
At work, they have their coffee machines on like every floor, but they always have oat milk and then like Swiss milk with the dairy is very good, which is kind of nice. But they always have
the Swiss milk, nice.
I mean,
Sean, Alex, if you're going to replace this coffee order, outside of the fact that you like the cow juice, as you said, unless you would order a glass of milk.
No, I just like usually all I ever order is just a house coffee with cream. That's all I ever order. I don't when I go fancy. I might get a mocha, but in this case, in a date setting, a drink I do like I don't get very often is a dirty chai, which is like a chai latte with an espresso shot in it.
Love the dirty chai.
So
that's good.
I'd probably go with the dirty chai, and maybe it's a little like, hey, I'm a little bit of a bad boy sometimes. Dirty chai. You like getting in the mud? Let's go.
Yeah.
A nasty little chai.
Nasty. Order a nasty. It's a nasty little chai.
I'm the kind of guy you don't bring home to your parents. I like my chai dirty. I think I'd probably get a cold brew because I'd want to be real jittery and sweaty for the date. But that is typically what I drink. Actually, is a cold brew. But I don't know. I feel like I'd want to order a decaf maybe for a date.
Oh, really?
Just keep calm, Get so nervous.
I mean, reminds me of the It's Always Sunny before Charlie goes on his date and eats a block of cheese just to calm down. His breath. They're just like,
I just watched It's Always Sunny through for the first time, and now I'm listening to their podcast, and it's great.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. I need to do that. I need to go back to It's Always Sunny.
It's always there
How
for
many
you.
seasons did it end up having?
It's
16th.
They just finished their 15th.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
They're the longest running like live action sitcom now, I think.
Yeah.
In terms
Oh
of
my gosh.
years.
I think they did that. They hit that like 2 years ago too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Edwin, did you say
All
your
right. Well, thanks for answering my question, guys.
Yeah, thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Yeah, did Edwin say his order? Did you?
Oh, sorry, Edwin. Did you?
There's not a lot of drip coffee here, so it's all espresso based things. I don't know, like a flat white or something. Something basic. Flat white.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Meredith. Thanks for calling in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
absolutely.
what was-
And I'm drinking my Zing Zang right now too, Sean. So
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
Wait,
definitely
nice.
the best one. I was so glad you said that.
Oh, I'm so glad you agree.
Wait,
Yeah.
remind us. It's your name. It's not Meredith, right? Or is it Meredith?
It is Meredith.
Oh, it is Meredith. Okay,
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
cool. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Meredith, your
That's
boob is out.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
Enjoy
Thanks,
the
guys.
Zing Zang.
Stop bagging my head!
This is great.
All right, let's move on.
That didn't really come through, but
Oh, it didn't?
no.
Yeah, we noticed
Dang.
that, yeah.
Quit bagging my head.
Is that?
Stop bagging my head!
Oh, turn it up. Whatever.
When they yell, it sometimes blows out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an issue.
Little Miss Thing wants attention. Meredith.
Meredith.
Right. I have 2 people left, and I wanted to first do a quick shout out for the Facebook fan group,
Yeah.
especially to Amanda, who is the moderator I have there. She helps me accept members and does the new member posts. So thank you, Amanda.
Oh, wonderful.
Thanks, Amanda.
Shout out.
Okay, so next up we have Brianna, the creator of
Hey.
the Discord server.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey,
Unmute
Brianna.
yourself, Brianna.
Hello, good month.
Good month.
Good month to you.
Thank you guys also for just letting me start the Discord and then tell you guys that I made it and be like, hey, come take this over.
Of course.
We really appreciate it.
This has just brought so much joy to my life. So really, really, really thank you guys.
Oh, awesome. Oh, we're
Oh,
so
I love
man,
glad.
being
thank
able to
you.
just drop in the Discord and like answer some questions or throw in a GIF or something. I love it, man.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, I'll kind of jump in. I don't know if this is an original thought, but I've kind of created like a fan fiction about Daryl. But don't worry, Sean, it's nothing like the Aaron and Robert California fan fiction.
Oh, good.
Oh, that would have been. That's a good memory. I
Deep
should have
cut.
drafted
That's
that.
good. Yeah.
So I have this idea that the reason why Daryl was teaching Michael Scott those lessons, like Fluffy Fingers, Dink and Flicka, Pippity Poppity, all that, was kind of for the comedic slow burn. It would come to fruition once the documentary was aired.
Oh.
And that he was doing stand-up during the summers to avoid the documentary crew from like finding out or filming it or anything. So doing stand-up about his job in the warehouse because just so much stuff was happening. My question for you guys is, what do you think would be some of Daryl's best stand-up bits about his job in the warehouse?
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Well, we only know what we see, you know. But I think, gosh, I mean, Michael knocking everything over with the forklift. I don't even know what the stand-up bit would be, but he has so much of Michael just coming down, just fucking up his day. I feel like he probably has a bit about like what goes on in his head when he sees his boss, or when he sees Michael at the top of the stairs, coming down the stairs like it's, you know, like he's at prom or something. Like I feel
he
like,
owns the place.
yeah. Like I think it'd be a lot of that, just like his general relationship with the upstairs, downstairs. I could see him doing a whole bit about how he feels like he's in Downton Abbey, and Michael's this king, this sad little king.
I mean, he's got a great bit about when like that he's like when he's dating Kelly, he's like, we only ever hook up when Ryan is in town. It's gotten to the point where I get turned on when I see that little dude just walk in the door or something like that.
Yeah, he's just excited.
Yeah, something like that. So I feel like that's a perfect example.
I get so turned on. Yeah.
The only thing I am worried about is getting a boner.
Very nice.
Sorry.
Well, I think two things that come to mind. Number one, what kind of stand-up style is Daryl going to have? Is he going to follow Craig Robinson's route and be very keyboard-based? Or
Yeah.
if I imagine if he's going to be doing things about The Office and Michael and the others, he would be very like physical, acting out what they do. So what I'm imagining,
Or is he
I
Sea
mean, and
Monster? Is
does
he
talk
Patrice
about-
O'Neill style? Just ranty
crowd
stories.
work.
Yeah, a lot of crowd work.
Just
Yeah.
crowd work. I imagine Daryl to be more of like the performing, acting out to try to get some of the stuff that he sees, and I can imagine. Like what's in my head is him acting out the basketball game and dribbling like Stanley, but pretending that it's Michael.
Yeah,
Like,
the
blaming it on
basketball
Michael.
game.
and
Yeah,
dribbling
yeah.
like Stanley. Yeah, like I think a lot of things would come out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, about the basketball game, and then also just like the people that he ended up having to work with, like Nate, or no, and well, Nate is just Dwight's helper, I guess.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Nate is in the warehouse in season 8.
season 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining the time when Daryl is in his like season 7 when he's Nate is Dwight's helper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, all this stuff from transferring from like blue collar to white collar once he's upstairs. I'm sure there was a lot of material from that too.
And being stuck in the car with Michael and Holly.
Oh, the breakup.
waiting for
Yeah.
him for-
Wow.
Please call me back.
Or I mean, yeah, he has a lot of great stories about the whole warehouse winning the lottery, playing his birthday.
Oh, that's a whole bit.
And then blowing all their money on Asian sports drinks or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I'm just imagining him telling the story about Michael carrying one lamp slowly up the stairs during the employee transfer. Oh, he has the hand truck like up the stairs.
There's another hand truck
dolly
in the
truck bike.
Take more than a lamp.
It's so funny, Edwin, when you were talking about him like with the keyboard. Can you imagine like a Daryl Bo Burnham stand up?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Downstairs.
I could.
By Daryl Philbin.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the whole thing in my warehouse.
Taco Air settles at the
worked.
lowest
It's
point.
like
Taco,
it's,
taco,
instead
taco,
of
taco.
Jeffrey Bezos, it's David Wallace.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's I've never seen Craig Robinson live. I would like to. He's one of many many Office cast members that tour for doing comedy. So I would like to see him. If anyone's in the chat, anyone have you Brianna by any chance? Have you seen Craig Robinson live?
I have not, and I never will. I thought that didn't land for a second. I was mortified.
No, of course not. We got you.
Alex, I thought you had seen him at Sasquatch, because I feel like I always can imagine you quoting him. Because like I think, oh man, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you told me this story that Daryl finished his set, like made out with a girl in the crowd, and then just said, like, if you see me around, like, come say hey. I'll be about the fair.
I was not
Does that sound
me.
familiar?
I have heard that story though.
Okay.
That wasn't me. Someone else
Okay.
did see him. It wasn't me though.
And we all just thought it was so funny that he said, I'll be about the
I'll be
fair.
about the fair. That was-
Walking
that was
around
great.
the Sasquatch festival.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. That was not I.
Okay.
No, but I
I've
did
not
run
seen
into
this.
Todd.
Lying son of a bitch.
I did run into Todd Barry just in the crowd at Sasquatch while he was watching
Ah.
a concert. It was one of those double takes.
Wait,
Yeah.
I love Edwin's story
I
about
also
Todd
ran
Barry.
into Todd Barry one time at Bridgetown Comedy Festival, RIP. And I was in like a show in the Hawthorne Theater Lounge, and he was standing right next to me because I was standing in the back against the wall. And I turned over and I was like, "You're Todd Barry," and he goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And I go, "You're one of my favorite comedians," and he goes, "Thanks."
Yeah, it's very.
That was that was our entire
That's it.
exchange, and I didn't
That's
need to say
perfect.
any more. Yeah.
Yep. That happened to me with Ira Glass at an audio conference. He was sitting next to me, taking.
You said he was
notes.
one of your favorite
He
comedians.
said you're one of my favorite. He said thanks. Yeah. Oh, my buddy
Thanks.
Edwin does the best impression of you. Yeah. Let me get him on the phone. Let me call him. You got to hear this, Ira. All right. Well, thank you, Brianna. That's much
Yes,
appreciated.
thank you.
Brianna, thank you for everything.
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. I think are we on our last?
Okay. Yes, we're circling back to Matt. who hopefully
Wow.
Oh,
has
hell yeah.
Things worked out.
Can you hear me now?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Expecting a man, were you?
Around the room. Skip around the room.
Our first
guys,
guy.
I
This
was
is the only
sweating
guy
bullets.
we've had. Yeah.
I was sweating
Welcome,
bullets when that wasn't working. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst moment of my life.
Oh, no.
It was the worst.
And I'm wearing
the worst
right
of
now,
ours.
Alex. I'm wearing the same sweatshirt as you because
yeah.
I was the 2021 Halloween costume contest winner.
Crew Neck
That's
Crew,
right.
baby.
Yes,
Crew
that's
Neck Crew.
right.
Yes.
Just had to mention that. But yeah, sorry about
Congratulations.
what was going on earlier. I think I found where Mose was hiding the wires, so
Nice.
I'm
Excellent.
able to speak,
Good.
Perfect.
But I wanted to also mention that I guess on the 200th episode, this is the best time to do it. Do you guys remember? It was probably 2 years ago. There was a phone call from an anonymous that burned all three of you with Boom Roasted.
Yes.
Oh,
I remember,
yes.
yeah.
That was me. I'm gonna stay.
The mask.
And it was one of
man.
my favorite. It was one of my favorite things, just like listening back. And it was I didn't mention my name only because I think I missed the part where you're supposed to say your name. And then I was kind of happy that it was like anonymous. I was like, oh, it's even better.
Yeah.
But
I was never given a name.
I was never given a name. But yeah, one of my questions, the questions I have for you is if you could choose one character from The Office and they had a personalized license plate, what would their personalized license plate be?
Ooh.
Other than Todd Packer.
Right.
So
Well
it
hung.
would be like a vanity plate for this character.
Yes.
Michael might have ordered a custom kid lover license plate. I don't think you could get the Lil on there, but I think you could get kid lover.
No way.
I think my mind went to Michael first, but I think it would be coming from Dwight, and it would say from Dwight, but with the number 1 as the I. Be like, yeah, Michael, number 1.
Or Dwight says beats, but no, I don't think he has that kind of self-awareness.
Or just D. just
a little
D.
D.
Oh, D.
I can imagine Andy getting. I mean, maybe I should go away from this one character getting it for another, but a big tuna license plate for Jim.
Oh yeah. That would be a gift. Yeah, totally a gift from Andy. Maybe when he becomes co-manager, gets him a big tuna license plate.
Or I could see Jim getting a Philly Jim one after they move to Austin.
Yeah, I like the idea that Andy gets him a gift custom license plate. He's like, yeah, it was actually really complicated. I had to re-register your vehicle in my name, and I had to.
I could see Ryan not having the car, but his license plate says Nissan Z.
I could see it saying Wonderkind.
Oh yeah, Wonderkind.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly's.
Does Ham's just say Beasley?
I was gonna say Kelly's just says Ryan.
With a heart.
Yeah, that he also got her. I could see that.
Or maybe Ryan says Mr. Understood.
Mr. Understood.
Yeah, that'll fit on a license plate.
Sure.
Maybe Aaron says Kelly. Yeah.
Oscar says WebMD.
Nice.
Or Oscar.
Kevin's is Cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah.
Nice job, Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Or like best chili, BST chili, or something like that. Boy, there's Robert California. You could go a lot of different ways. I feel like we did answer this question. This is ringing bells now.
We've talked about vanity plates, but not through the lens.
We've
of
talked about
characters.
The Office vanity plates.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but not making them for characters.
Matt, are there any that you thought of or that came to your mind?
I actually had thought of Beats too. I was driving down the road and I saw somebody that had it spelled BEATZ or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty close to what maybe Dwight would have on his. So that's what I was That's funny. That was the first one that was mentioned.
Ashley in the
that makes
chat
it-
saying
that-
Scrantonicity 2 for Kevin. That would be great.
Oh, that's
Just no vowels, maybe. Yeah. Oh, Lizard King for Robert California.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
LZRD. Yeah. Lizard King.
A fan of ours, Anthony, sent us some office themed beer, which I'll probably talk about on the next episode. But it came with a bunch of stickers, and one of the stickers was Dwight wearing headphones, and it says "Beats by Dwight."
See that, yeah. You know, Bob
Good.
Vance
Okay.
has
That's
it just
good.
says Bob Vance, and then the little plate or the little liner around the license plate says Vance Refrigeration. So he's always he's got the full
Yep.
thing.
Okay, this is not a license plate, but it's something that I thought of recently, just thinking about Andy and his Prius. I had like a you know how your phone is like memories. Remember this photo from a year ago?
Yep.
And it was one that I took like in LA. Like I had to quickly put my phone up to the dash and take a photo of it. But it was a sticker on the back of a Prius, and it said "Cool Prius dash nobody."
Said nobody.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Andy's would say, "Here comes trouble."
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Angela might have something like kitten or
Kitten around.
Kitten around. Andy's could also be
couple of kitties out on the town.
Andy's could also be BNR champ. Old boner champ.
Oh, boner champ.
Yeah.
I could see a running joke too, being like that someone like Andy is constantly getting custom license plates. Like, you know, maybe he got one that said Angela, and then he had to change it, and then
One that
you
said
know,
Jessica.
yeah. And then, like, you know, he and Dwight are getting into hunting, and he changes it to Hunter, you know, like just
I
things
live
like
to
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, I'm kind of spending a fortune on custom license plates this year.
Or I could also see Nelly making a few to throw Andy off the trail, like Texas Poo and Tappa and Jason,
Yeah.
and like putting them on cars in the parking lot so that
Sure.
he thinks that this is who that is. Yeah.
Maybe a meatball. And maybe a meatball for Stanley. Just for fun.
Or
I
the
don't know.
antioxidants.
20 meatballs a
Oh,
day for the
yeah.
antioxidants. Thank
Well,
you there,
Matt. Thank you, man. I'm so glad you could finally made it on the show.
Thank you guys. Hey Edwin, do me a favor. Don't send me those notes. I'm gone.
Ah, yeah, man.
Finish it.
Oh boy.
What say we do?
Well,
plop.
Can I say my favorite moment from your
Oh,
show?
yeah,
please,
Kayla.
Give us a draft pick.
It's gotta be when Sean went on his rant about Pam and the firewalk.
Oh yes.
Oh,
I'm
the
so glad
beach
you mentioned
games,
this.
the
I was
pole
thinking
walk.
about this. Yes.
A famous moment. A famous moment.
Did you agree with that when you
No.
heard it, or
Have you listened to the fan group podcast, sir?
You know, I started. I actually admit that I listened to the first part of the Sean one, but I need to go back and finish it because I was honestly getting like I was like, this is so weird to listen to this. I'm very flattered, and I will finish it. I could only take it in bites, I think.
Understandable.
Sean, do you remember what I said to you when you finished your that thought?
I do not.
I said, "Who hurt you?"
We do discuss that part at length in the second episode of the fan group podcast.
I will listen to that for sure. Well, why was it your favorite moment?
I guess like because a lot of podcasts that talk about shows and stuff, they just say a bunch of positive things about the show and they don't really have like real debates or like give their honest opinion. So it was kind of like, even though I didn't agree with it, I was like, yes, this is awesome. You guys are having real discussions and giving your real opinions. So sort of like what Alex was saying his friend said about our podcast. But yeah, that was like, I mean, I really liked your guys, but like that moment, whenever that happened, it was like, oh man, I am like a fan for life.
And that's
I'm
what it's
glad
all
to hear
about, you know,
that.
coming together, having open debate, being able to disagree with each other.
Yeah, I think like you know, that was something that like we always wanted to do because it was just the truth that Edwin and I disagreed on some things. Like, and Ryan and I'll talk about it too. It's like I don't necessarily like want to have the I'm the negative guy and that's like my take on the show.
Yeah.
But I just always thought that I was like, well, if we're going to do this podcast, like it ought to be something, with some genuine value. So we'll actually, if we're going to talk about why we love the show so much, I think it's important to talk about when there are moments where it kind of cracks for us. And
For sure. Yeah.
and that was one of those times for me, for sure.
Partly too is like this is one of the things that happens with watching a show that's been on for a long time or that has been off the air, let's say, for a long time, is that you have to evaluate things differently and like things maybe you just view them over time differently and that kind of thing. And I definitely think, and I say this because like there's a podcast that I like a lot, Midnight Boys on the Ringer, and they disagree all the time when they talk about media and stuff. And it's very fun because like they have that intense sort of clash and they argue and they make fun of each other for having these opinions. But like neither one is more right or wrong than the other.
Sure, right.
But you have to kind of embrace that. You have to embrace that tension a little bit because it leads to fun conversations and fun places. So it's all. I mean, it's fun to go back and forth a little bit on these kinds of things, and it helps. I think when two people disagree and you're listening, it kind of helps you think about what you personally believe as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's how you like form coherent opinions, I feel like, is having a conversation. Someone disagrees. You have to defend your point or think about it in a way you haven't before. And that's the whole purpose of this podcast, is finding truth in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like how many people have like whenever you guys do like an episode on a character and then they come and say like, oh, I used to not like that character, and your guys' episode turned me around on them, or vice versa.
Yeah. No, I think even for me, doing the episodes on the characters sometimes is like, gosh, this really like Angela stands out as one that I was like, I don't know why.
Nelly
like,
too.
All of a sudden, like
I think Nelly's had some switches. People switch back and forth a lot.
Just a character that maybe you don't think about as often, and think about their specific story arc is that's been a fun part of doing this podcast for sure.
And sometimes, I mean, Sean and Alex will say something and like it gets my mind racing, and then like I'm just kind of I kind of not make it up as I go, but like I think out loud because like they get me thinking about something else and it leads to another place. So it's fun to tag off each other in that way.
We have also always
Where
talked
were you 2
about
hours
maybe
ago,
having...
beautiful mind? I made a mistake.
We've also talked about, like, oh, maybe, one day we'll have people, maybe we could get a guest like of somebody from The Office, and there's a possibility that may happen sooner rather than later.
It will happen at some point. We just need to get
I
the
will
day.
always be nervous how much of this podcast have they listened to. Yeah, just I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum. I'm only just
I've never heard you say
for
that. Yuck anyone's yum. What a nice little phrase.
You know that one?
Never heard
not
that.
heard that phrase?
You can
Never
use
heard that.
Go ahead and use that, buddy.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Wow.
Welcome.
That's nice. Well, Kayla, thank you again for all of your help.
Kayla,
your
thank you for everything.
assistance,
Like,
your-
seriously.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I was
this
happy
is all.
to do it.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the work you put in, and for being so great. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Your card is more beautiful
there
than
you
the
have
gloves.
it.
There you have it. Yeah.
There. If you would like to join us on Discord, how about I'll say that for once. Check us out. I don't know. Can they just
The link is
just
in
Google Michael Scott?
Well, we put the link to our Discord in every show description, so you can always find it there.
Okay. Cool. Okay. And then if you'd like to call in and leave us a voicemail in the future, that's 503-694-9314. Thank you to everyone who called in through Discord today.
I want to
also email us.
Sorry. I thought you were done. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, I was just gonna do the sign off.
I was gonna say too. I just want to shout out Ashley in the chat, who's happy AAPI Heritage Month to Edwin, to anyone out there,
yes.
Asian and Pacific Islander
nice.
Heritage Month. Happy everyone out there. Ashley says she is
Beautiful.
posted about it on her story. She's half Chinese and got friends to Venmo her $15. Well done. I believe it's also
We should put Edwin's Venmo up.
yeah, Venmo Edwin. And it's also Mental Health Awareness Month, I believe, too, in May as well. So to that note, to anyone who's joined our show or it's helped them on that front, thank you so much. It's helped us as much as it's helped you. As you were, Sean.
Yes, indeed.
No, well, but that's so. It was amazing. Sean said, "Join the Discord. How about we do that for once?" How do they do that? Hey, but before we go, and I mean, I know that we've been going for quite a long time. Is there anything else from the chat that we should mention? I don't know. Just, I mean, I can't see it from where I'm at, but
they've been in
there's
there.
Yeah, but thank you for everyone who's been interacting in the chat. I'm sorry I haven't been able to. Yeah.
Jessica says, "Let's get
Let's do it." That's our voicemail.
well,
You can email us. Where at, Sean?
Yeah. Email us, mspodcastcompany@gmail.com. We have a website, michaelscottpod.com, and we're on patreon.com/Michael Scott. Join us by becoming a Scott's Tot for $5 a month. As you can see, it's a lot of fun. It's a community, and we just have a great time. And we really, really appreciate all y'all for supporting our show. And we love you guys very, very much. So thank you to our Scott's Tots. Thank you to Kayla and to Brianna for running our Discord, and to Kayla especially for putting in a lot of work to get this stream working today. Thank you to everyone who called in, to everyone who left us a recorded message.
That was so
that
cool.
was really, really touching and beautiful, and it means a lot. Special thanks.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My brain just broke. I did email MSPC all of the regular recordings for you guys
Oh,
to
yes.
listen to as well.
Oh, thank you.
If you want to put those on episodes or whatever you guys want to do with that. And there was 2 people that the names weren't actually in the recording because it just didn't work with the flow. That was Chelsea and Julie. So thank you guys as well. Your guys names weren't in there, so wanted to get them out.
Big shout out.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks to Ryan for doing our artwork. This episode was recorded over video chat.
And I need a new Ryan.
I want to give a special shout out to Thaddeus, who we didn't get to talk to, but I would love for us to get on the phone with him at some point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my
Definitely
suck
would-
on
Oh,
this
yeah.
rock
This
here
is what-
that he's mailed me for my birthday.
I just hold that up again because the attention to detail on this, we talked about this too. The rock shape and size, the handwriting, everything about it was just very tastefully done. So good job to Thaddeus. And anyone out there, feel free to mail Sean a rock. Let's keep that bit going.
Yeah. Go easy on the postman though. Maybe
Yeah, maybe
not a
more in
heavy
the
rock.
maybe more of a stone or a pebble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gravel.
Sure. A handful
But,
of fertile red dirt.
But thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing us to get to 200 episodes. It is truly incredible that we've been able to do this for so long, that we've been able to spend so much time talking about this show and building this amazing sort of community that we have around not just our show, but around the office. It goes to show, I think, what just what the office can mean to people and what can happen when, I think our show is just based around our genuine friendship, and it's amazing to think that people can come together, and that we can share everything together and create such an interactive community. It's truly, truly amazing. So thank you for listening, for hanging out, rocking with us, supporting us. After all this time, it is unbelievable. We're going to be taking a short break.
Yes.
But stay tuned for a Patreon mailbag. I think probably closer to the end of the month.
Yes.
And perhaps a little mini-sode that might come out as well. But until
Let's
then,
just say Edwin and I will
care.
be getting used to the sun in southern Italy together. Is that? I
Isn't
forget
that
what he
funny?
says.
We've never been there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
take care, stay safe, and we'll be back before you know it with more stories of This American Life.
Pippity poppy, give me the zobbing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.